Hey everybody, this is the Basements and Bears podcast. I'm Lion. I'm here today with three of my other people in this podcast. Go ahead.
Human cleric, Father Crow.
I'm Pim, the elven sorcerer.
And I'm Galthak, the Goliath fighter.
For a second, I thought you were going to say I'm Gullstaff, Sorcerer of Light.
Yes.
So previously, the party dealt with all of the bandits they could find from the Red Blade faction, and secured them and brought them back to the town. And I also made a new friend along the way, a wizard named Keldrick, or Kadrick, one of the two. Caldrick. And with that, they spent some time just talking and discussing and figuring out what to do. At this point, Gothak, have you attempted to return to your house?
What?
Have you attempted to return to your house?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I got... So, I need to say this. Like, there is an... Total War Shogun 2 has an Obama faction pack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Steam has mods.
I mean for sale.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It's just like that. Podcast is over.
It's Japanese people on horseback with spears.
I see.
Anyway, yeah, I'm going back to my house.
Okay. You find your house relatively intact. It is a hole in the ground.
Nobody lit it on fire?
Nope.
Filled it with cement?
Nope.
Blew it up?
Now, that would just make your house bigger.
Yeah, I know. But, yeah, you know.
You'd have to rethatch the roof then.
Yeah, fill in, I don't know, stuff.
But no, your house is just as you left it. A giant hole in the ground.
Hold on. I'm gonna check for traps. This. As soon as roll 20, you know, does stuff. Oh, I guess you can start this. 8. Goddamn, it's original. Oops. There it is.
It's because you're not logged into the correct things.
Yeah, you didn't add a picture, so I
No.
clicked on the thing.
Yeah, now. You got the exact same both times, didn't you?
Yep.
No, you don't find any traps.
That's consistency.
Yep. So, I'll go in my house then.
Okay. You are in a
Swear to
hole in
God.
the ground.
Okay. Should move on, because this is where I'm gonna stay.
Riveting RP.
What?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Oh, do you want me to describe how he's gonna go cut?
No!
Number.
No, I don't. It's...
I'll describe him cutting wood, or... I guess he found
Is
a
that
rabbit.
what he calls it? Cutting wood?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
Pim, and it's been a few days since you finally brought everyone or all the bandits in. It's been rather uneventful. Your sister's minorly sick. It's nothing major, just sort of out of commission for a few days.
Oh no. Do we have to travel to the top of a mountain peak to get a single flower that only grows for 7 minutes on 2 days out of the entire year in a 100-day cycle, and then we have to bring it back, but when we get back we get attacked by goblins and they're trying to steal it from us because a powerful wizard needs it for a super spell that he's going to use to try to end the world, and so we get sucked into this huge world battle? No?
No.
Okay. Whew!
You have to take 2 steps to the left, and she's fine.
Roll 10 or higher, and yes.
Yeah, hold on. Let's see. Are you? I don't know if you're positive that that's what we have to do or not. So let me roll percentile, and if I roll above 50, we gotta save the world. Well, shit. Scrap the campaign. We're on an adventure. Hello, is this thing on?
Yes, it is. The past few days have been uneventful since you've returned. Father Crow, the people in your charge have begun getting better, but also, the past few days have been uneventful for you as well.
How about that companion that came with us, NPC? Did he actually get rezzed, or did he succumb to his mortal wounds?
He had succumbed to his mortal wounds, and he has moved on to whatever afterlife he was given.
I would be at his gravestone, having spent the whole night trying to keep him alive, and finally succumbed to it. So
What?
we gave him proper burial.
After a few days, after the time has passed, you all, or the two of you, Pim and Crow, you both are visited by a guard who seems to be very out of breath, very frantic, and just says, "You're wanted at the manor at Highford on the hill."
Right away, and I run.
Okay, I would also accompany.
I dumped
I'd
the
ask the
con,
guard.
though, so I make con check. I run out of
I'd ask the
breath.
guard to take a breath so I can explain what happened.
Starts running, immediately runs out of breath.
I don't even get out of the house. Are we in a house?
You have your own house.
Or like, am I in a house now?
Yeah.
Oh.
You'll be in your house. The guard will, after catching his breath, finally say, there's been an incident of some sort. The traveling knights, just sent me to summon for you.
I see. I call out to the sisters of the prior. Ready my horse. He's like, let me just go pack a few things, and we'll be right there. He's thinking it's a medical emergency or something. I'll go grab any kind of healing supplies. Then in a few minutes, I'll be ready.
Okay. And no, there was a different guard for each of you, for Pim and for Crow.
Oh.
He was sprinting from one house to the other.
Alright, well, when the guard told me, I immediately took off running up to the manor. So, yep.
Well, then you will be the first to arrive, but I'm going to bring everyone over to this map.
Ooh. Oh. There's blood on the floor. I'm not cleaning it up.
The three of the traveling knights are present in the room as you enter the manor. And there are, four of the knights are present, but three of them are alive.
Oh no.
The body of one of them. Let me bring him back so you can see his name. Sir Andus is laying dead on the floor, and so is the Baron.
No.
I see that hashtag Dan the Man. We've been on the map for less than a minute. Is that just the first thing you do?
Well, there's also 3 more. So you can
What?
find them.
No, there's not.
Yeah, there is.
Did you make them super small?
No.
Well, I can easily find them because I can zoom out.
What? So can I, but there's only one on the...
Just
Literally
continue.
only one.
Continue, you'll find them
Okay.
later.
So, I bust in the door. I came as quick... Ah! I don't like blood. So Pim passes out.
Well, that was eventful. After you've finished gathering your supplies, Father Crow, you will also arrive at the scene.
Don't step on me.
I'm sure the knights have moved you out of the way slightly so you don't get stepped on.
No, they're just like, really? Really? Really?
Who's this fucking guy?
Okay, I make my way in and saying I'm reporting as ordered, and then I kind of look around. What has gone on here?
Sir Avich
Come to.
will clear his throat and say, we don't know. Sir Andis and the Baron had a meeting today, or rather last night. Sir Andis never returned last night. We figured he might have stayed over for drinks or some sort of merriment. And we reported here to check on him. We found the door ajar and signs of a struggle, or signs of a forced entry on the door. And we found this scene. Not knowing what to do, we summoned for the people that we've seen here that have been the most, or shown the most amount of leadership and initiative beyond the guard. The guard is already overtaxed just maintaining the town.
I turn towards Pim's, I guess, passed out body.
No, I came to.
Yeah, he's coming
a
too.
bit.
Okay,
Just
so
a little woozy.
since Father wasn't exactly here when Pim came in, were you present for these events also? Because you obviously like look woozy, like you just passed out, or you look pale to me.
I'm like, what? No. This was like this when I came here, and I must have just eaten something bad this morning. No, I'm not a. No. What? No. I'm gonna go over here. Yeah. Whoa! Okay.
I look at the blood footprints on the ground and just like studying for a second. And where do these lead? They seem to kind of stop over there. Well, why?
Sir Avich will dismiss the other two knights and they will step out. Or they will bow and step out. Oops. And Sir Avich will say, they should continue further in. We don't, I haven't gone much further than this, and neither have the other two knights. We wanted to keep things preserved as best we could.
Well, I
Have
looked
the-
over. Oh, go ahead.
Have the guards searched the house already?
No, they have not.
The killer could still be here.
That is a possibility. So, I guess we will proceed ahead of them for their safety reasons.
Don't forget to put on your rubber gloves.
I'm gonna make a stealth check to sneak through the house, because if the killer's still in here, I want to surprise him. Very average. So, is this door in front of me unlocked if I attempt to open it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna step through. I almost stepped on blood. Okay.
And you see the
I'm
footsteps continue.
I'm gonna motion to Father Crow. They continue in this way to another doorway. And I'm gonna tiptoe over the blood spatters to try to not touch them.
How's the table look? Is it
It has some amount of food prepared from the previous night, so there's basically it kind of looks like how the actual image looks. And so it's got, half-eaten plates, half-drunk drinks, stuff like that. It appears to be set for 4 people.
so? I guess we'll proceed into the next room.
Yeah. Is this door unlocked also?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm gonna step through. As I follow the steps, I just kind of stop.
You
I'm
do
like-
know, as the steps progress into the room up to the point they are, there is less and less of the footprint, so you're believing the blood would have dried up at the point where these end. The room itself is a library, and library/study for, you believe the Baron. Large number of books fill each of the shelves, and a personal work table sits at the opposite end of the room. And there is also a door back here.
There must have been something in this room that killer wanted. So I'm gonna
Were there
start.
any bloody prints on the door or anything? Or is it just their shoes?
It is just the shoes. There was a little bit of blood on the first door that you would pass through to go into the dining hall, but other than that, there is not blood on any of these doors.
So, do I hear anything? Is it still just all quiet? Is there any noise that we can distinguish from the door ahead of us?
There's a little bit of wind going on, but other than that, there isn't much in the way of noise. There's some noise from the previous room for what you're assuming is Sir Avich, moving around the room.
Is there a window in this room?
No, this part of the house is sort of built into a mountain.
So I can hear wind in this room, but there's no outside to this room?
Yeah. It does, it's coming from the rest of the house that's exposed to the
Oh.
wind. It's not,
Okay.
yeah.
So, what's the lighting like in this room? Is it dark?
Um,
Since there's no windows.
There are a few candles that are close to burning themselves out, so it's dim at best. These candles have been burning at least the entire night.
And from the door ahead of us, do we see like light emanating from underneath, or is it dark?
You see a little bit of light.
So I guess we should only have this one room left to check from where these prints lead in.
Okay.
So is this door also unlocked?
Yes, it is.
Alright. So I'm gonna walk in and pass out. That is a lot of blood.
And you pass out right into it, too.
Yeah. I'm not gonna be happy when I wake up.
But, yes, this is the body on the floor in this room is that of the person you had been introduced to as Lady Mina Herman. She is laying in a very large pool and spatterings of blood.
What was
Checks
her
for
name?
any sign. Oh, you have to move your character so I can see it. There you go.
Oh.
Is there any sign she's alive at all? She
No,
just-
the life is completely gone from her body.
And I don't think I've been introduced to this one because I wasn't present at that welcoming or that celebration party when we came back.
Yeah. I have no idea who this NPC is.
She was the princess that was traveling with the knights.
Oh.
I remember her.
Ah, okay, yeah. Okay.
Oh. Oh, well this is not good.
Okay, so I rush back to the door and call for was it Sir Averick or Avik?
Yep.
There's something in here you should see.
He will get a pale look on his face and retch when he sees the state of the room. And he will step away and then, throw up, and he will step back and say, have you found any sign of her handmaid?
Not yet. How looking over her body, what are the wounds are inflicted on? What can we tell?
The wounds she has received are very numerous. Give me a second.
Tim will start coming to again.
That's the wrong map. It looks as though she's received multiple stab wounds and, slashes from some sort of dagger or something slightly larger than a dagger. And there are signs of some amount of bludgeoning. She has a very deep gash across her neck. You're guessing that's probably what killed her. But she has a very large amount of pre- and post-mortem wounds. Mostly stabs, slashes, and some bludgeoning.
Let's see. And there's no windows in this room either.
No.
Okay.
If you want, you can make a heal check to determine more about the body, or a perception check to notice things.
It's like Pim comes back to, and he's extremely pale, shaking.
Roll a heal check.
What you believed before, that the slash to the wound being the cause of death, is more than likely true. That is the one wound that appears to have been truly pre-mortem. All of the other stab wounds look like they might have happened as she was dying or right after she died. So she died from having her throat slit. In terms of the state of her body, she is really banged up. Whoever did this had a lot of anger and frustration to take out.
I'm gonna look around the room to see if I can find any clues or anything. I don't know, maybe footsteps, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's actually something you had caught me on before. You hear wind, except it's not from the rest of the house. You hear some sort of flowing air. It seems to be coming from under the bed.
Okay. So I look at Father Crow and I say, do you hear that?
Probably not.
With him pointing it out and the roll you got, you do actually hear it.
Okay.
Like,
I nod towards him.
we're a bit too far into the house for this to be from outside. And it sounds like it's coming from the bed? Come over here and help me move this bed. What's underneath here?
Okay, so then shove the bed or lift it
Yeah.
up on its side, I guess.
Yeah, just try to throw this thing out of the way.
Well, I will just drag it down here. There's a small hatch. It appears to lead down.
This must be where the murderer went.
The hatch does actually open downward, so you could scurry under the bed, push it down, and go down the hatch.
Sorry. You said the Baron? That was the Baron's body at the front?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So no one else besides the Baron? Does the Baron have any kids or servants that that are around the house that we could talk to?
I'll say we haven't, or Sir Avich will say, we haven't looked around the house. We wanted to preserve how everything was when we got here. You do know the Baron had 3 children, 2 daughters and a son, and he had a head cook, his butler, and a groundskeeper, in addition to also having a wife. His wife, you know, is out of the county visiting family at the moment. And you don't know about where his children or his 3 manor attendants are.
Alright, well, I think we should go down this trapdoor.
It seems our only option at the moment.
Are you going to take Sir Avich?
Yeah, I think he should come.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask him, like, will you accompany us?
He nod his head yes.
It'll be good to have someone from law enforcement in case the murderer is down here.
Okay. Escape tunnels. Dropping down the hatch, there's a ladder which will eventually lead to a small platform and stairwell leading down from the platform.
Oh, this is interesting. Let's continue down, I guess.
Okay, let me begin revealing some areas that you can see.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Like everywhere you go, the tunnel suddenly appears. You're like, just jump down.
Alright, well,
Your mic is kind of fuzzy. Does anyone else notice how low it's gotten?
Yeah, it's kind of low.
me?
Yeah. You don't have the fans or AC going, so you can try turning yourself up again. Because you had yourself turned down for that.
Let me find my settings. Blah, blah, blah. Is this any better?
Yeah, that's a fair amount better. You're at least
Okay.
somewhat louder.
Alright. Maybe that's what it was.
So, as it stands, there are 4 ways you can go from this junction downwards. However, one you do see is a complete and total dead end, which is down here. This way appears to at least turn into some sort of tunnel, or some sort of other path. And up here, and up here, turn. How did you get to the other maps, Aaron? Because there's another hashtag Dan the Man.
Yeah. What about it?
Nothing.
What? I didn't do it.
Okay. So,
Or did I?
No, you
I'm
did
going
it.
to make a perception check to try to see if I can find any trace amounts of blood that might lead us in the right direction with my elven eyes.
What do your elf eyes see?
A lot. Gay porn.
You. Now I actually have to go look at the full map because I got to see how this works. You see a trace amount of blood down this way.
Okay.
What about the other corridors?
There is some blood, but it's not nearly as recent.
Well, that's creepy.
You do know, given the nature of the location for Highford, escape tunnels aren't all of that strange. I mean, at one point it was a huge center for battles. If the Lord of the Manor needed to be able to escape, if they were injured or the house was under attack, they would need tunnels like this. So chances are, if the old blood is either from previous owners of the house or from whatever critters might live down here that were exterminated at one point or another. So, if there was a rat problem, then the rats were probably killed down here, and it might be their blood too.
Okay.
And looking at the ground and the corridors, like, what is there dust? Is it are there like light boot prints or anything going in the direction of the blood? And what about the other corridors? Are they filled with dust or age?
There is a layer of dust, but it is disturbed as if someone had walked through it in all of the directions. Except for the dead end. There is actually nothing there. It does look like the disturbances are from more than one person, not just a single person.
So I would say either the Baron's been active down here, or this could be connected to a more intricate network of tunnels, like sewer access or some.
Yeah. Maybe that's how the murderer got in and out.
You do know that from the hill that Highford on the Hill is on, there is a small cave and a river that runs out of the cave. Now, most people avoid it because it's kind of dangerous to follow rivers into caves. Could get swept away, could get, fall victim to any number of other things. So,
Right.
It might be sewer access, there might be some sort of other access. There has to be some sort of other access if this is a escape tunnel, though.
Well, I'm gonna go down this way then and see if see where it leads to.
Alright, well, you can stop yourself there. As I reveal an area. Oops. As you see a small pack of rats gnawing on something. And,
Oh, go ahead.
and further down the way, you see a person standing in an alcove.
How big are these rats?
Larger than regular-sized rats, smaller than dire rats.
Okay.
The size of a VW bus.
And yes, totally. Instead of cat bus from Totoro, it's rat bus now.
Yes.
But
I'm
they
going
are
to-
they are eating their meal and are not happy to be disturbed.
I'm guessing we're still in darkness, or is there any kind of light in the tunnels?
There is some minor amount of light. Every now and then it looks like there's torches.
I have low light vision, so I can see fine.
The vision is not enough to impede anyone. Or the light level is not enough to impede anyone.
I'm going to attempt to scare these rats away. Bring about some fire on my hands and all that jazz. So here's an intimidate check.
They will begin scurrying away.
And then I'm going to go down that way and I'm going to call out to this person down here. Like, hey, what are you doing down here? Show yourself. But that's a lot of freaking rats.
Yes, it is. As you get closer, a Surveyvich will dash ahead and step up next to the person and begin checking them over, attending them. You will start asking them questions in a sort of hushed voice.
I'm gonna look at the guard and ask him, like, who is it? Do you recognize this person?
He will breathe a sigh of relief and he will extend his hand forward towards the person and say, Yes, this is the lady, or the princess, Mina Herman.
Wait, what?
So she had a duplicate to protect her.
It's standard policy from her father when we travel for her handmaid to pose as the princess. And for the princess to pose as the handmaid.
So, like, turning towards the princess. So, my lady, what happened? Tell us what you know.
She's in a bit of a state of shock, but after she calms herself a bit, she'll say, I don't remember most of what happened. I was with my handmaid when we were here at the manor. The Baron was discussing proposition of marriage between myself and his son. When there was a knock at the door. The next thing I knew, there was shouting and the sounds of a fight. And the Baron managed to just before succumbing to his wounds, yell for us to run. My handmaid, she gave her life so I could get into the tunnels. I've been down here hiding since. I have not been able to make it anywhere. This is a vast and confusing place. I don't know if I was followed. I just ran and ran until I found somewhere I could hide.
Well, we should probably go back up and get you somewhere safe. As much
Yes,
as I'd like to... Oh, go ahead.
Yes, I agree. Getting her to safety is priority. We can check these tunnels out later.
Yeah, as I say, as much as I'd like to hunt down the murderer, I think the priority is getting her up to safety and trying to get any leads on who could have been after her.
Okay. Well, you can escort her out safely from the tunnels. There is no opposition. Basically, you've scared away anything that might have stood in your way, and it's a clear shot back to the stairs. So, taking her up into the house is easy. Getting her out through the house is also simple. It'll take you all back to the house map, and you can poke around here if you want. Or figure out what you want to do from here.
Really, we should ask her to, grab her belongings. I'm going to go find the Baron's bedroom.
That is the room you are currently in. That is enough. Oh. She is able to relay that to you, that when he was, telling them to flee, he explained that there was an escape hatch, effectively, in his personal bedchambers.
Okay. Well, then, I'm going to tell her to go collect her belongings, meet us in the front room, and I'm going to inspect. I want to go through this. I want to go through, the stuff over in this room. Just to see, was there notes or something? Was there letters? Did the Baron know something?
Okay.
Is there some kind of lock or bar that we can put across the hatch so nothing down there can get up?
Keeping the bed there is probably more than enough to keep it secure. It cannot easily be latched and closed permanently from this side because of how the trap hatch works. But if you keep a bed on it, or if you put something heavy on it, that way when it gets opened, it will fall down and make some sort of a noise. That would work as a good indicator. And potentially a deterrent from whoever's coming up. Getting hit in the head with a heavy object would suck. especially on a ladder.
So why don't we at least move the cupboard on top of it before you look into it? We'll just rearrange the room a little bit.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
And I would say the safest place for her at the moment would be the Priory. I could also go to the library and pick up some old blueprints. Maybe we could find where these tunnels at least lead.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Pim, you wanted to search around the house, look through all the stuff here?
I'm sorry, say that again?
You wanted to look around the house, see what there is to see here and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I basically, like I said, I want to look to see, did he have letters from other high-ranking people in the area, the country, that maybe he had a dispute with? Stuff like that. Something that
Okay.
might give us a hint.
Interesting items.
Oops.
I thought that was
Okay,
part of the
then-
story.
In the meantime, while you check it out, I guess we'll leave 2 of the guards here that are down there to help you. And Avik and Mina will accompany me to the Priory to at least get her a room
Okay.
so she could kind of come down from her shock. And then in the meantime, I'll pull some books from the library for old blueprints of the sewer systems or any kind of access tunnels.
Okay.
Alright.
Well, who wants to take care of their stuff first?
We'll let Weiss go.
Okay. Securing her with a room is relatively simple. However, tracking down books is the slightly more difficult thing. You can give me either perception rolls or history rolls, if you would like, for your search through the library.
Have to be perception.
Okay. You do stumble across a few interesting things of note to begin with. The first is that while there are some blueprints on record, there are huge discrepancies between each of them. Each of them detail a completely different floor plan and layout. They all have a few similarities. Mostly just the similarity is the location of the kitchen, the location of the dining room, and the location of the entry hall. Everything else, all of the connecting rooms are different between each of the versions you have found. You can make another check if you'd like.
I guess, is there any kind of sewer system in this town?
Yes, there is.
Okay, so I'm going to do a search for some sewer tunnels, see if there's anything that overlaps where the manor would be. Yeah, let's data rolls.
The sewer schematics are much less detailed. The documents you can find are just general ideas of how it should be laid out. Beyond that, there's no real schematic of or layout of it for the town. At least none that you can find.
I guess I'll make a history roll. Well, never mind. Okay, so I have no... what I was going to do for that was basic layout of the town itself, like any kind of water, like knowing where the sewage would flow out. I guess I never looked into it that far, so I wouldn't have any idea about that.
Nope. You can make another perception check if you'd like, or an insight check.
Okay, there's my insight.
Something strikes you after you've been reading through the books, and it occurs to you that given the nature of this town and its military importance in the past, Documentations, like blueprints and such, on the house would be changed as often as possible. It would prevent someone from going through it and easily finding out this information. But there is a likely location for the correct information, and that is in the restricted archives for the library. As it stands, you can make your way easily into the restricted archives. No one's really going to stop you. You've done enough for the library in the past, and it's probably most of the books from the library are contributed by your priory.
Okay, so with normally I would have to get the Archbishop's permission for that, but since the Baron is dead, I go in without it.